Welcome to 24 Hour Sports. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I think the NBA has officially gone wild. Kyrie Irving has recently requested a trade, and Mo Bamba and Austin Rivers think they're in the late card main event for the UFC. Let's talk about it a little bit. It's a lot of different angles we can take from this. And first things first, I want to attack the Kyrie Irving trade. Kyrie Irving. My biggest question, the angle that I've looked at it after you requested your trade, what have you done publicly by having your team release this news? What has this done publicly that you couldn't handle privately? If you wanted to request a trade, I don't think anybody in the association has a problem with you actually requesting a trade. But now you coming out, you making a whole big deal, you making a scene about it. And that's when it gets a little far-fetched. That's when it gets condemned by a lot of people. A lot of people thinking, what are you doing? You want to get traded, but you're diminishing your value. To me, you've diminished your value. And I don't think the Brooklyn Nets are in a tough spot because you say, okay, Kyrie leave, we're getting nothing. He goes in the offseason, we're leaving a superstar player, and we're getting nothing. Nothing in return. No draft picks, no players. But if you trade him, are you really getting something? And the only other team... It hurts to say this. The only other team that's as desperate as you, that's in a worse situation than you are, is the Los Angeles Lakers. That's the only deal that I think can make any possible sense. But here's the thing with that deal. Kevin Durant doesn't want to play with Russell Westbrook. I think that's the first step you have to take. Asking KD, do you really want to run this back? Do you really want to get remarried to somebody you divorced? Because I don't see it happening. Kevin Durant and the Russell Westbrook, that train has been going a long time ago. And to bring that back and say we want to play championship level basketball, Russell Westbrook, I just don't think he's what that team needs. They need defenders. They need bigs. Adding him to that mix, you're basically swapping players and you're getting less. So how do you win that deal? And I think the Lakers, they got to be real stingy with those 27 and 2029 first round picks. I'm not giving them up, especially for Kyrie Irving, because if he comes to this team, we get Kyrie, LeBron, AD, Showtime. Everybody want to see this. We go in the playoffs. We don't have a deep playoff run. Now we stuck. Now we looking. Kyrie, you want to resign? Kyrie, you want to resign? Now we don't even know if Kyrie want to resign because we're not winning. And he gets back with LeBron. Everybody said, okay, let me step this back a little bit. Everybody says Kyrie Irving, he's spoken about how he's learned, he's matured, he's grown on LeBron, his leadership. He didn't understand it at the moment when they were in Cleveland winning titles. So now he would revisit the opportunity of playing with LeBron again. Everybody gonna say that until they in that situation. Everybody speaks glowingly about somebody until they back in that same situation, and now you're realizing, man, this is what got me in Boston in the first place. Man, this is why I requested a trade in the first place. So I don't know. I think you're really in a tough situation for both franchises, especially for the Los Angeles Lakers, because how do you do it? You're 19. LeBron is not getting any younger, and you're the 12th seed in the West. So... And I looked at a couple other trade packages. Wishful thinking as a Miami Heat fan, I looked at the Hero package. I'm thinking if we give him Hero, maybe Kyle Lowry, Gabe Vincent, Nikola Jovic, something in that area. Maybe we even slide in a pick if we want to do that, if we can do that. I've seen the Phoenix Suns, a Chris Paul for a Kyrie Irving swap, maybe a Mikal Bridges or something in that. I don't think they're giving that up. But these are some of the potential deals, and I think they're just crazy. I think they're far-fetched. Like I said, the Los Angeles Lakers have the only scenario where I think you maybe can get Kyrie Irving, but let's talk about a deal. Okay, Russell Westbrook, he's a given. You're not playing Russell and Kyrie. So Russell Westbrook for a Kyrie swap. Again, KD has to be on board with this. We probably getting Austin Reeves, maybe maybe a Lonnie Walker, maybe a Dennis Schroeder, something in that nature, a Thomas Bryant, something in that nature. And then we got Kyrie, LeBron, and Anthony Davis. I just don't. The picks, they're not going player for player. There's no way you thinking that you're getting Russell Westbrook player for player. LeBron is the only person I think can tame Kyrie to just have him say basketball, we going to get you a deal. But Kevin Durant can't do that. And then when I look at some of the other teams, is there leadership built in for Kyrie to sustain a long-term contract, for him to just play ball, everything ride smooth? I don't know. That's the honest answer. And I think there's more ifs and I don't knows than, yeah, that'll look good and I know that will work. Because we're saying if if the Lakers do this, if Kyrie does this, if Brooklyn does this, but we don't have a solidified, solid move on what we want to do and where we want to go with it. And Kevin Durant, I'm calling you out too, because where's your leadership in this situation? You and Kyrie planned out the blueprint to come to Brooklyn because you didn't want to go to New York. That was on the table. You said no. You came to Brooklyn, and what do you have to show for it? A sweep and a loss to Giannis in the second round. I'm not impressed by that. I'm sorry. Two first ballot Hall of Famers. I'm not impressed by what your resume has been. And then you had James Harden. He's seen what the fire show was in that organization. He got out, and he's balling in Philadelphia. Steve Nash got fired. You got Jacques Vaughn. What more does it have to be to cater to a Kevin Durant and a Kyrie Irving? Like, what can we do? As an organization, we're strapped. So now I'm thinking about that. Where's your leadership? Where have you, the same guy you brought with you to Brooklyn, why you can't just sit him down? Y'all sit down and have a talk. You silent in this whole situation. Are you talking to Kyrie? Are you trying to talk some sense into his head about how he should go about this? Hey, man, you shouldn't go public with this. Hey, man, you just stay down. We win a title. We keep winning games. You keep playing hard, doing what you do best. I'm going to come back off my injury. We're going to contend for this thing and maybe even win it. Where has that conversation, has that been a conversation that was even thought of? Because I think if you say that, maybe you can get to Kyrie. Maybe you can talk to him and keep him down a little bit. But I don't know. I just don't think Kevin Durant is that type of guy because I haven't seen leadership from Kevin Durant. You know, I just feel this is a horrible situation, and where do we go from this? And going over to what we seen last night, the UFC brawl in the NBA, Mo Bamba, Austin Rivers. I ain't gonna lie, Austin Rivers, you got off on Mo Bamba. But I just want to talk about that for a little bit because I think we have to keep a sense of professionalism. We got to mind, these are kids watching these games. These are parents watching these games, families watching these games. I think as the NBA, we have to get a hold on this. We have to give, I would say, greater suspensions or greater consequences to the guys who are really doing something, because I was very frustrated with the calls last night. Jalen Suggs, Jaden McDaniels, Taron Prince, what have they done? I mean, of course, they're trying to break the fight up, but they're trying to get their guys off. And we understand the people coming off of the bench and all of that. And yes, those guys, they're on a greater scale for suspension. But I feel like Jalen Suggs, Taron Prince, Jaden McDaniels, no, you can't do that. And especially when we look at a Magic, you didn't give them the same consequences. They're getting 2 players suspended to the Timberwolves 3, and these are 3 key players for the Timberwolves. I feel like you kind of ruined the game in a sense. We got to keep the spotlight on Mo Bamba and Austin Rivers and whoever comes off the bench. But that was just a real harsh suspension to get those guys ejected out of the game. And I mean, as a fan, I'm here for it. That's one thing I'm going to say. We're going to keep it professional, but in the ever so often, in the rare experiences that we get to see the UFC brawls, if we get to see that, every so often, I'm a fan. I like to see it. Hey, guys being competitive, guys bringing out that real inner dog in them. We gonna play basketball. Your team might beat mine, but you're not gonna play with me as a personal person, as a grown man. And I think there's a certain line that has to be drawn, especially for Donovan Mitchell. I don't think Donovan Mitchell did anything wrong. I seriously don't, because when we look at it, he gets fouled. Dylan Brooks is on the ground and he's looking up. Where is Donovan Mitchell? And he hits him. He know what he's doing. And then Donovan Mitchell try to throw the ball at his head. So I think you know what you're doing. And I'm going to end it off on this note. Who do we think will win in a battle right now with the Orlando Magic and the Memphis Grizzlies? The Orlando Magic versus the Memphis Grizzlies may be the most highly rated televised game in the NBA right now. Who's winning that game? Does the game even end without a fight? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. We out.